Look, I'll be honest, I'm recording this on a Sunday morning. I normally record on a Friday evening, but I wasn't feeling well, so here I am. And I've got to record 2 of these because I've lost my backlog. So, let's just see how it goes. 10 questions with Teller. What's one thing that you would like to change about yourself? There's a lot I'd like to change about myself, both physically and mentally. I think probably the biggest thing I'd want to change about myself is my anxiety and my confidence levels. I feel like I've lost out on a lot of opportunities over the years because I've just not been confident enough to put myself forward. You know, there's always been that doubt in my mind that I've not been good enough for those opportunities, that I wasn't worthy of those opportunities. And I think because of that, I've lost a lot of opportunities in my life. Having that confidence to put myself forward and not hold myself back, that would probably be the biggest thing I'd like to change about myself. Hopefully doing this sort of thing helps with that, but it's also taken quite a heavy hit as well, so who knows, to be honest. It's all up in the air. Do you prefer to cook or order takeout? I cook. You know, I work on a limited budget, and so I actually slow cook a lot of my meals. So instead of like making fresh every single time, I batch cook a bunch of meals using a slow cooker, and then I put them in like plastic takeout tubs and then freeze them, and then I just have them over the week, and like they can last me like a month, and it's super cheap and it's healthy as well. You know, I use fresh ingredients. I try to buy as fresh as I can within the, you know, the range of money that I have, but I try to make it healthy and nutritious as well. There's also just something about cooking as well. It's sort of, because I've never been a fan of like professional chefs and sort of like, right, we're gonna cook in 10 minutes and here's Edo and all of this. It's like, no, like cooking for me is like relaxing and just, you put it on, you get it sorted, and it's just, for me, it's a time to just relax and chill out. I'll always prefer to cook. I don't mind takeout. I have a takeout once a week. You know, I always have something a bit different. But between the two, I would always prefer to cook. Would you rather have a grapefruit-sized head or a head the size of a watermelon? I have to look up something here, because I need to know the dimensions of a watermelon and the dimensions of a grapefruit. Let's do some research. From Wikipedia, on watermelon, wild plants have fruits up to 20 centimeters in diameter, while cultivated varieties may exceed 60 centimeters. I mean, that's quite big, isn't it? I mean, how big's a grapefruit? Grapefruit on Wikipedia, it ranges in diameter from 10 to 15 centimeters? That's tiny! Okay, so do you want a small head or a big head? I mean, according to what Wikipedia is saying, a wild watermelon plant can have fruits up to 20 centimeters. I mean, how big is the average head? Okay, now I have to do some more searching. The average adult head circumference is about 57 centimeters, 22.5 inches for males, and 55 centimeters, 21.7 inches for females. Okay, so the average human head is somewhere between a watermelon and a grapefruit. So, do I want a smaller head or a bigger head? I mean, I'm 6'2". Having a small head would just look ridiculous. If anything, having a bigger head would just mean I'm more proportionate to my body size. So yeah, a head the size of a watermelon. That would just make better sense for me. It's such a weird way to word the question. Would you rather have a grapefruit-sized head or a head the size of a watermelon? Why not just say, would you rather have a small head or a big head? Like, why do you have to put it in terms of grapefruit and watermelons? What do you do to stay in shape? I try. I do try. It's a mental thing, unfortunately. If I could sort out my mental, believe me, I would be the most unstoppable person to ever exist. It is, I swear I have a curse upon me that stops me from being as good as I am. And that's not me, like, bragging or anything like that. I can do brilliant, amazing things, but there's just something in my head that's stopping me. If I can ever solve it, if I can ever solve what's in my head, I will, the things I would be able to do. What do you do to stay in shape? I mean, at the moment, I try swimming, but it's a bit difficult given where I am. It's just a bit too far for me to walk in the mornings, and especially get back for work, especially working from home as well. I don't really leave the house, I don't leave where I live. So the biggest investment for me in terms of fitness has been an under-desk treadmill, which has been absolutely brilliant and sort of allows me to just walk while working away at my desk. It's brilliant. It's just fantastic, and it's on low enough that I'm not flying off into the air like a normal treadmill. And then other than that, just, eating healthy, not eating too much junk food and things like that. So, just exercise and diet. There's no real special thing to what I do. It's just living or trying to live a healthy lifestyle. If you were asked to teach a class, what class would you teach? There's an extra H in that word. If you were, W-E-R-E. Well, you can tell that English would be one of mine. I mean, considering, I think it was last episode, I answered that my favorite subject was mathematics. Like, that would probably be quite easy for me to teach. It'd be quite nice for me as well. There is something in me that's just like, could I teach drama? Like, could I teach, like, acting? Something like that. Like, I have no experience in it, but just sort of, could I teach something creative? Maybe, possibly. Like, the thing is with creativity, it's all down to interpretation. There's no right or wrong way about creativity. It would be all up to the interpretation of the person. Whereas with mathematics, it's very much a black and white thing. It's either you're right or you're wrong. Would I want to teach something that's black and white, or would I want to teach something that has creative interpretation into it? I don't know. I'd probably, I'd take the safe bet. I'd say mathematics, which is the safe answer. But could I teach something in the creative arts? I don't know. Maybe. What is your dream job? Is this where I have to be miserable now and say that I don't have a dream job anymore? It's sort of, I mean, if you're asking me right now, my dream job would be to, be a content creator, make content for a living. Like, that would be the absolute dream right now. Is it something I aspire to be? Not really. It's more something that I'm moving towards because of circumstance, because of the way that, if you look at the job market and the way that society is playing out, things are not really going well, but also my own personal situation and wanting to have a job where I'm in control of it, and content creation seems to fit that. If you were to ask younger me what their dream job was radio. I wanted to go into radio and be a radio host because, again, that entertainer side of me, wanting to entertain people and make people happy, that was very much flourishing at the time. But also getting to play music, which at the time was just such a big part of my life, and really, like, music has been such a big part of my life for so many years, and sort of regulating my emotions and giving me the opportunity to express myself. So combining those two things together, that for me was an absolute dream. Would it be something I'd do today? No. I think personal circumstances have changed, but I also think radio, unfortunately, is a bit of a dying format. I don't think it's gonna disappear completely, but I think the radio that I know and love has definitely changed, and it's become a lot more safer and a lot more streamlined, and radio's just become a bit bland, really. I don't think there's anyone in radio that's really taking risks, and it's all just become a bit samey, basically. Yes, you listen to radio for music, but you can get that from a streaming service as well. You need to add a personality in there to make it entertaining, to make people want to listen. And I think a lot of radio stations nowadays just like, oh, just put whatever bland person on and give them this, that, and the other, and just put some music on and it'll be fine. And I think it's just all become very bland. So I don't think I'd want to go into radio nowadays. I think what I'm doing right now with content sort of fulfills that need. It's sad, because it's sort of, I'd like to think that I still have hopes and aspirations, but I feel like they've all been beaten out of me over the past few years, and now I sort of just do what I do just cause, basically. As sad as that is the reality I live in. If you could invent a holiday, what would it be? I'm assuming this question must refer to things like Christmas and Easter and like events like Halloween, events like that. I mean, summer doesn't really have a quote-unquote holiday. There's like bank holidays and special days and things like that, but there's not really a quote-unquote holiday. If you think about it, spring has Easter, autumn has Halloween, winter has Christmas. What does summer have? Summer doesn't really have anything, really. There must be something that happens around the longest day. I'd probably invent something for that. I don't know what it would be called. I don't know what you'd do or things like that, but I kind of like the idea of like a holiday of just like celebrating life before it starts getting dark, things like that. That might be something nice to do. So I'd probably invent a summer holiday. Even though I'm not a fan of summer particularly, it'd be nice to have something to celebrate during the summer. What is your favorite hangout spot? What, is this the 90s or something? Are we grabbing our skateboards? Putting our caps on backwards? We've had some questions. Oh, we've got some questions here. What is your favorite hangout spot? My home? Because I rarely leave my home. I feel like this question comes from the 2000s when I feel like I should be like calling someone up and going, "Weather! What is my favorite hangout spot? My home. Where I live, where I work. Like, that's my favorite hangout spot. Unless you want to go outside and, I don't know, get shot. My home. That's the answer. Moving on. Are you clean or messy? In what circumstance? Am I clean as a person? Do I live in a clean environment? Am I a clean person? Yeah, I have a shower every morning. Most mornings. Trying to save on water and electricity and money and all of that. Plus I go swimming where I get a shower. So technically I have a shower every day. Brush my teeth, put on clean clothes, like So I am a clean person. Is my environment clean? It can be better. It's not a dump, you know. I get the vacuum out, I get the Hoover out, I clean the bathroom regularly, I clean, you know, kitchen and work surfaces and make sure that, you know, I make sure there's no infestations or anything like that. Can I do a better job of it? Yeah, I can do a better job of it, but then I can do a better job of everything, to be honest. It's not Asmongold levels, but, you know, there's a few things lying around. As I look around, there's definitely a few things that I can tidy up, but it's not an absolute pigsty. It's livable, plus I'm the only person that lives here, so who cares? As long as I'm happy, what gives? You know? It's not your business. This question generator is too nosy. It comes up with some good questions, but it's really nosy. Do you think you would survive a zombie apocalypse? No. Look, here's the thing. I have Crohn's disease, so like, I probably wouldn't be healthy to the zombies, but also as well, like, I need regular treatment in order to stave off the Crohn's. Would I get that regular treatment in a zombie apocalypse? No, because presumably most things would have shut down, so I probably wouldn't be surviving anyway. So I'd probably just give myself up. But I may end up, I don't know, would you really want to eat inflamed organs? I'd probably kill a bunch of the zombies with my inflamed organs. No, I wouldn't survive, but I'd probably end up taking a few of them down with me. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I ain't surviving though. Well, there were questions. Think you can do better? Then why not have a go? Leave your questions in the comments below. I am checking them. I promise you, I am checking them. So if you leave any questions, I will answer them, because some of these questions are really weird. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!